Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. Bring your hate, bring you whatever you want to bring. This has got to be taught. This has got to be brought out. Now, some people may say, why are you back? What are you doing here? What do you want? Well, bear with me a second. Because war's on the escalation. Okay? This is modern news, all right? It says World War III fears as Iran warns of proxy war with U.S. urged to launch surgical strikes. Okay? This was 3 hours ago. Daily Express, right there on Google. You don't believe it? Go check it out yourself, okay? Now, for all these people,
I am asking that if you can, to please help to find
everyone that says that I'm speaking falsely, this is right here on Google, right? World War III fears as Iran warns of proxy war with U.S. urged to launch surgical strikes. Okay? That's with precision. That's precision, all right?
This ministry. If you feel led to pledge any amount.
Give me a second. Okay? Because this is an everyday thing. This is always happening, okay? All right? Just in case people don't understand what's going on. Just in case you may not be too inclined, okay? Let me incline you. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me set this up right, okay? I don't want nobody to say, I can't hear you. No, you're going to hear this. You're going to hear this, okay? You're going to hear this.
It would be extremely helpful and greatly appreciated. There is a PayPal link in the description box and in my pinned comment below. Thank you all so much for your prayers and support. God bless.
A new interim report released at the request of the British Foreign Secretary says Christian persecution in some parts of the world is, quote, close to meeting the international definition of genocide.
Now, Christian persecution. Why is there a persecution of believers that believe in positivity or fellowship or loving others? That shows you where we're headed as a society. Now, you don't have to believe it. It doesn't matter if you do believe it. But this map right here, and as well as America, will let you know what times we're in. Okay? Because should a Christian be persecuted? Maybe someone that's a radical, but a regular person that has their belief in their own God, should they have to be persecuted? Huh?
It's being targeted by extremist groups in the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, and East Asia.
Hey, you know what else is funny? You know what else is weird? The fact that if you're Muslim and somebody talks about Muhammad or Allah, they're more worried about you blowing yourself up in defense of your God than opposing a Christian who's promoting positivity or love, right? So where are we headed?
We bring in the president of the Iraqi Christian Relief Council and senior fellow of the Philos Project, Juliana Taimoorazy. Juliana, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Iman.
It's really startling to see that sort of figure, that takeaway from the report.
It's very startling. It's very startling. Why are Christians being persecuted when all they do is promote positivity and fellowship and unity, right? Now they'll say, oh, what about the Crusades where they slaughtered people in order? No, we're talking about the modern day Christian, okay? We're talking about actual love and positivity, all right? Why is that being persecuted across the world? In America and overseas. What time are we in? Huh? So when somebody says that I'm promoting fear, don't blame me. Blame Google, okay? Because this is the modern news. This is the news that's popping up. This is what's going on, okay? So just in case somebody thinks that this is nuts or this is crazy stuff, this is fake news, it's coming through multiple faucets. It's coming through multiple segments. Different people are saying the same thing. So either one person is giving out the same manuscript, or the script is actually the way that they're saying that it is, huh?
Societal levels. Also worth noting from this report, 80% of religious believers who are being persecuted around the world are Christians. Should this be a wake-up, a worldwide wake-up?
Absolutely. There has been
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. Hold on. I would like to see what this chick got to say. Should this be a worldwide wake-up, huh? The Bible already said that we should be waking up. What I'm not understanding is my stream is the only stream talking about this craziness. What's going on with that, huh?
Should this be a wake-up, a worldwide wake-up?
Absolutely. There has been...
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Just like I said, don't like my stream, don't come to my page. I'm very good with that. But as long as I know that I'm putting this out there and you just choose to look over it, or you choose to call it fake news or fear porn or whatever you want to call it, keep on going. But there's actual scholars, there's actual people that have higher degrees or educations than you, and they're saying the same thing that I'm saying. So it doesn't matter if, do you go to work? What's your job? Who are you? No. Let's get to the point at hand. What's going on here, huh? How are we going to change this? There's no way of changing it. Prophecy is prophecy, okay? Understand that. So if anything actually happens and goes down, this was already written, and this is because of our disconnect with our Creator and Lord and Savior, okay?
That is already underway and perpetrated by ISIS. As you know, Secretary Kerry announced this as a genocide of the Christians of Iraq and also the Yazidis. But this has been going on for so long. For example, in terms of Iraq, the Assyrians, also the Chaldeans and the Syriacs of Iraq have come under persecution starting 2003 until today.
Last stream, I showed you the Dow Jones is collapsing due to problems or escalations with China, right? We pulled out of the Iranian deal, and the Iranian nuclear treaty we just pulled out of, right? Now I wake up to Google. Come on. Either way, I wake up to Google, right? And Google says that there's a proxy war looming. Yeah, of course. Anyway, yeah, there's a proxy war looming, okay? So, not only that, but now they're talking about the persecutions of Christians across the world. Not only in America, okay, because we already know America's an atheist nation, right? We all doing what we want. We promote homosexuality and all that other stuff that the Bible goes against, right? So we're already against that. We already know that people do what they want here. What about overseas, huh?
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me on, Molly.
Yeah, it's really startling to see that sort of figure, that takeaway from the report, that it could potentially be reaching genocidal levels. Also worth noting from this report, 80% of believers who are genocide
of Christians that are promoting. No, this ain't. This isn't the Crusades where they were fighting the Muslims and slaughtering. These are modern Christians that are promoting love and peace, and they are being genocide on the other side of the world. So where are we going? Okay, all I've been saying since I started this channel was to get a closer connection with God. Some people say why, some people say I'm fear porn, some people say I'm just making up fear. Well, guess what? If I'm making up fear, what's Google doing, huh? What's Google doing? Hold on, let me read it again for you. It says World War III fears as Iran warns of proxy war with U.S. urged to launch surgical strikes. Okay? Just letting you know. Now, this right here, fake news, Fox News, whatever you want to call it, listen to this segment, okay? Let's see what time we're in.
Being persecuted around the world are Christians. Should this be...
Actually, I don't believe in denominations. I believe that we should be reading the Bible. When Christ came, he didn't sit there and say, well, we got to pick Lutheran, or we got to pick Catholicism, or we got to pick Presbyterian. There wasn't no different divisions. Do you understand? So the reason that we're not reading the Bible now is because we're told God don't exist and the Bible's man-made, right? But now we have movies promoting demons. Insane, right? How did we get this far? And not to mention, if you say anything bad about a Muslim, you're worried if that Muslim's going to blow themselves up, or you're worried about the society backlash. They'll sit there and they'll say, hey, you're against Muslims. Or there's actual protection for Muslims, but there's genocide of Christians. So tell me where we're at. That's what I want to know. Let me know that.
A worldwide wake up.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Hold on. Listen to that. That's what I wanted to rewind it for. That's what I was rewinding it for. Listen to that. Just in case, because I've been wondering. I'm like, yo, why is everybody making streams about themselves? Or, yo, I just seen this. Yo, just before I started, I wanted to come into the playroom and see what kind of streams were going on. And I see, I'm not even gonna say the person's name. I'm not even gonna say the stream name. But this guy had his picture or his camera pointed at his bed. Nobody in the room. It's okay. It's okay. You do what you do. But why aren't we talking about this? Huh? That's all I want to know. Is this a major is this a major situation that we're in?
I'd wake up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. She said, is this something that the world should be worrying about? This one said, absolutely. Now, fake news?
Been a genocide that is already underway and perpetrated by ISIS.
Oh yeah?
Hey,
well, you know what? Since you know so much, let's hope that that's true, okay? Because what if they do launch first? What if we don't even know that they're about to attack? Huh? How about that? Because we don't even think for ourselves anymore. We got smart homes, smart cars, smartphones. We got a whole bunch of smart stuff, so we're not thinking for ourselves. And do we think that the way that the country's being run right now, that the guy that's in office is willing to press the red button? Think about that. And if they do, the outside forces, because let's say that you say, yeah, he's willing to press the button. What about the outside forces? Won't you sit there and say, well, what if he tries to attack us back? What if he presses the button? He looks like that type. We better strike first, right? We don't have a hypersonic nuclear device. They do. So don't tell me if they're going to strike first and don't worry and stuff like that. And if the Bible's fake news, then you need to remove yourself from this channel. Just go. I'm happy being in this channel, doing this stream with 0 people. 1, 2, I'm cool with it. I'm very cool with it. I have no problem. But you need to explain this. If the Bible is fake news, why are Christians being persecuted for spreading love? The Christians, modern Christians, aren't chopping nobody's heads off. Those are Muslims. So where are the Christians being persecuted to the point of genocide? You let me know that if it's fake news, because the Bible promoted this. So where you at? Huh? Let me know what's going on. Proof of God. The prophecies that are happening are proof of God, because before I heard that the Bible was man-made without no inspiration. These was just high guys that just decided to make a Bible, and now different stuff is starting to come out. King James was a pedophile, or he was gay, or some, all this stuff. And what I understand now is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making you think he didn't exist. Well, now we're in a society where he does exist. We got TV shows called Lucifer. We got Supernatural. We got all this stuff. But now God don't exist. Ha! Well, get up. Let me understand this. In Revelations, it says at some point in time, we're going to be worshiping demons. Well, is that not the case? We got people talking about celebrities selling their souls and stuff like that. We got Baphomet churches or Luciferian churches. So, you let me know where the Bible's fake news, because I'm not understanding what you're pulling up. Where's your scripture? Huh? Because everything I've read is lining up so far. So either I'm reading it from a prophetical stance or you're reading it from a fake news stance. Huh? Which one is it?
Announced this as a genocide of the Christians of Iraq and also the Yazidis. But this has been going on for so long. For example, in terms of Iraq...
what I want to know is these Islam people that are in their land, why are they converting from Muslim or Islam to Christianity? And then they have to be persecuted and judged by their own people. So where's this right? And you tell me where we're going, okay? Because once the Creator comes back, once judgment is open and in commence, where are you at? Are you lined up? Are you good? Are you ready? Because this is about to go down. Don't get mad at me. Don't say I'm trying to promote fear or nothing. Right here. This is promoting fear. This is right on Google, okay? Go on Google. Put in World War III fears. That's it. That's it. This was 3 hours ago. So I'm not bringing up some 3-week-old stuff. This was 3 hours ago. So this can pop off at any time. Hey, look, I don't even have to, right there, boom, right there at the bottom, right there, see? An Iranian war. And what we're not actually taking into consideration is he already had a problem with Venezuela. Actually, before Venezuela, he pulled out of the nuclear treaty with Russia. Now, our Dow Jones is collapsing because of China. He's been bothering North Korea, and now he's got a problem with Iran. So, for all you Trump supporters out there, I can see you looking past the government shutdown. Heck, I can see past the fact that you're not looking at the fact that he erected a wall for the border. But what does this do for our global communications, huh? Our relations with the global community. What does that do? Meanwhile, you want to debate. There's no debate. I make statements on my channel. I don't debate. You want to debate? Go into the next room. Make your own stream. I'm not debating this. I'm showing you. You either have a choice to either want to see it or you could look past it. Have cognitive dissonance. Okay? You know what cognitive dissonance is? A volcano's about to erupt. Everybody outside the volcano, they like, well, that's about to erupt. Let me move. The people closest to the volcano, they look, don't worry about it. That's cognitive dissonance. That's you saying that's not going to erupt. Meanwhile, everybody outside of you is scurrying. They're like, uh-oh, let's get worried. These people are smarter. I can't even say they're smarter. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. They're not really smart. They're just promoting the news segment to you. So just like I'm doing, I'm offering you this information. It's up to you to whether to choose to eat it or not. Okay? If you don't agree with it, you would have been moved by now. If you understand what the hell I'm saying, then you're going to keep watching because I'm not making this stuff. I'm not making it. I'm just showing it. Okay? I'm wondering why nobody else is showing it. Just like that chick said, this is a world problem. Shouldn't we all be concerned? And what did this chick say? Yes, we should be. Okay? So you can say that I'm crazy all you want. You can say that you're just reaching or you're fear porn or whatever the hell you want to say. And let's listen to it one more time, okay?
Noting from this report, 80% of religious believers who are being persecuted around the world are Christians. Should this be a wake-up, a worldwide wake-up?
Absolutely. There has been a genocide that is already underway and perpetrated by ISIS. As you know, Secretary Kerry announced this as a genocide of the Christians of Iraq and also the Yazidis. But this has been going on for so long. For example, in terms of Iraq, the Assyrians, also the Chaldeans and the Syriacs of Iraq have come under persecution starting 2003 until today. Our numbers were 1.5 million today, down to 200,000 people. And look at Sri Lanka. Look at what happened there. Look at what's happening in India. Nobody's really talking about India. So we're grateful for Secretary Hunt and also Ambassador at Large Brownback for really stepping up to do something in a positive way, in a more meaningful way. But there's so much that needs to get done still. worldwide. According to Open Doors report, 1 out of 9 Christians, Molly, across the world are being persecuted today.
And of course, this causes not just potentially death, as we're talking about genocide, but also people being pushed out of their homelands, and the religion, where it perhaps had a stronghold, being forced.
All off of promoting love. Okay? That's what we have to understand that these modern Christians are doing. They're promoting positivity and unification. All I'm telling you is judgment is falling upon the world for spreading innocent blood. That's it. That's it. We're in a time of war, okay? And war will actually commence. Look, hey, I'm not joking you. I'm not joking you. I'm not trying to pull your chain. I ain't ask you for no donations. I'm not bothering you for anything. Look, right here. Look, Iranian war, right? Okay? Look over here. What? Trade war, okay? Full film, 54 minutes. People need to start checking this stuff out. This ain't fake news. This ain't fake news. This is right in front of you, okay? So start doing some research, and maybe you'll start putting up streams too. You'll start seeing, you're like, whoa, whatever this guy is saying, maybe he's on to something, okay?
Areas where Christians lived. I want to take a listen. This is the British Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt speaking in Kenya.
Around 250 million Christians being persecuted, 3,000 losing their lives last year alone, and that's increasing. And there are many different reasons for that. Religious conservatism.
Now, how are they dying over there? Because we have the pleasure of dying by bullet or gun. You understand? That is like a quick kill. Whereas someone stoning you is not a quick kill. You get hit in the head and you could still be conscious and feel that pain. Or they could be beheading those Christians. What about that? Because your head's supposed to live 20 to 30 seconds after it's beheaded. So, are we understanding where we're at? He just said 3,000 people, okay? Last year.
Politicians playing on people's religious prejudices, state-sponsored oppression, terrorism.
He also talked about political correctness. Do you think that plays a role?
Absolutely. Actually, I believe the death of most of the people that are suffering today is truly because of the political correctness, because the world turns a blind eye to this. And when we are politically correct, we are sympathizing with those terrorists that are destroying communities and erasing histories. For example, the Assyrian people in Iraq, our history, they're trying to erase our history by destroying our monuments and really pushing out us from the homeland.
The Christian persecution the church is suffering right now, awful as it is, will only get worse. The Bible tells us in the last days, right before Jesus returns, the greatest political leader in the history of mankind will take the world stage.
Now, I could just imagine being out with some of you. I've already got persecuted on several streams just for putting this news out. So, where are we going? Why is there such a hate in the world for people promoting positivity and change? Population growth that could be helped by poisons. You can have a few people drink the punch. You can have people jumping off bridges. Do you really want a nuclear war? Do you understand? This ain't just gonna be Vietnam and guns battling or Desert Storm. No, these people are talking nuclear talk. We're pulling out of nuclear treaties. Do you not understand? This is more deeper than what you think it is. Oh, man.
Launch a military campaign that will result in his acquiring authority over all peoples of the earth, as we read in Revelation 13:7 and 8. It was granted to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Authority was given.
No, people have been saying that we're in the last days. We didn't say we're in the end days, okay? And even if you did hear that some people say that they're in the end days, you could listen to a person all you want. We're now talking nuclear war. Are you not understanding that? This isn't like any other time before. Any other time we're going to war. Like, okay, 9/11, 2001. When they was like, war, let's go to war. When they was bombing them, they was hitting them with regular, conventional bombs. Russia is promoting a hypersonic nuclear missile. We just pulled out of the nuclear Iranian deal, or the nuclear treaty with Iran. North Korea is trying to upgrade and escalate their nuclear program. So, is this as the same as all the other end days or last days? You let me know.
Over every tribe, tongue, and nation, all who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. His empire will be the most extensive.
Get that. Get that. There's a book of life, okay? And if you're not written in the book of life, you're not making it into the kingdom of heaven. So don't worry about the Bible. The Bible was telling you how to get into the book of life. There's an actual book that you haven't seen, that no man has read, and if your soul is in that book, then you'll be accepted. If not, then you know what? You can say, it's make-believe. God don't exist. You can say all that stuff. Meanwhile, your elites know, okay? And once you set your mind up, you're destined to fail, right? If you say, I can't get up out of bed, you just won't get up out of bed. If you say, I can't climb them stairs, you're not going to climb them stairs. So if you're going to say, God don't exist, then you're just throwing it away, right? You're saying, God don't exist, I don't want to read the Bible. Plain and simple. Okay, let's get back.
In all of history, encompassing the entire world, and his rule will be the most demonic the world has ever experienced. He will appear to be the savior of the world, but as he consolidates his power, his true nature will be revealed. He will emerge as a Satan-possessed and empowered person who hates God and is determined to annihilate both Christianity and Judaism. His method of eliminating Christians will be by beheading, as we read in Revelation 24. And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was committed to them. Then I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received his mark on their foreheads or on their hands. For this reason, he is identified in Scripture as the Antichrist, as we read in 1 John 2:18.
Now, did you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear it? There's going to be... Here, hold on.
And they sat on them, and judgment was committed to them. Then I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received his mark on their foreheads or on their hands.
Now, there's a microchip. There's a microchip in Switzerland where they're implanting people, and in Wisconsin. And the chip is only so you can access the building and use the vending machine, buy and sell, okay? Elon Musk is talking about merging humans with technology and putting microchips in their brains. Now, I'm not doing research from what you're saying, and I'm bugged out. And the Bible's man-made, but all this is prophesied. So explain that. Type that in the chat. I want to understand that.
For this reason, he is identified in Scripture as the Antichrist, as we read in 1 John 2:18. Little children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have come, by which we know that it is the last hour.
Wait a minute, because somebody just asked me, and said, I've already heard that we're in the end days. Come on with it. Get rid of it, right? What did he just say? What did he just say?
How many Antichrists have come, by which we know that it is the last hour.
We've already seen how many Antichrists. I got some Antichrists right here in the goddamn chat right now. Some of y'all don't believe in the Bible. Some of y'all want to type some negative, persecuting stuff, some real negative comments. Go right on ahead. Keep on going. That proves you're an Antichrist, and that shows you that we're in the last days. Hold on, just in case you didn't hear him, just in case you're thinking that I'm making this up, you know.
Not received his mark on their foreheads or on their hands. For this reason, he is identified in Scripture as the Antichrist, as we read in 1 John 2:18. Little children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have come, by which we know that it is the last hour.
Now, 10 years ago, it wasn't that good to be an Antichrist. 20 years ago, it wasn't that good to be an Antichrist. In fact, I think 20 years ago, people was more Christian than they are now, right? So we see many Antichrists come. That's another reason, okay? So let's go. I want to see what you got to say. Because for some reason, every time I ask questions, I can't get them answered either. What's going on with that?
More intense. All of these signs are manifesting around the world in our time.
Overnight, the State Department.
I'm glad you are an Antichrist, because at least that shows to me that the prophecies are enacted and that Bible can't be man-made, because man will tell you that it was going to be a sunny day today and then all of a sudden it's raining. Okay, so man could barely predict the weather is what I'm saying. They could barely predict the lottery numbers. You kidding me? So this stuff is actually happening. It's coming down the pass. It's coming down the pipe.
Non-emergency U.S. Embassy and consulate employees in Iraq to leave. That follows rising tensions with Iran, Iraq's neighbor. President Trump dismissed a report that his national security team is reviewing a plan for more than 100,000 U.S. troops to confront Iran. David Martin is at the Pentagon, where officials suspect the Iranians are behind sabotage attacks on oil tankers. News this morning, David. Good morning.
Good morning. In addition to ordering all diplomatic personnel, all non-essential diplomatic personnel out of Baghdad, the U.S. is also warning all Americans that it is too dangerous to travel to Iraq. President Trump touted at a campaign rally what is becoming one of the hallmarks of his America First foreign policy.
We're now holding dangerous regimes accountable by denying them oil revenue to fund their corruption, oppression, and terror.
But Iran remains dangerous. U.S. officials say it is highly likely Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards were responsible for Sunday's attacks.
That's another thing. Just seeing him set me up. That was perfect. That's another thing.
Too dangerous to travel to Iraq.
Hold on. Let this mannequin speak.
Becoming one of the hallmarks of his America First foreign policy.
We're now holding dangerous regimes accountable by denying them oil revenue to...
Okay. Now, we remember that Obama shut down the government for 17 days. This guy did it for like 30 some odd days, and we have no problem with that. That's racism and that's greed, okay? Because all 44 presidents, all 45 presidents except for one, 44 presidents have been all like this guy, okay? But one came in and everybody says he messed up the whole system, he messed up the whole economy. But this guy shut down your government, is starting proxy wars all over the globe almost, and you have no problem. You're still sitting here trying to debate or make me look like something I'm not. What's wrong with you? Get a life. Plain and simple, right? Plain and simple.
Fund their corruption, oppression, and terror.
But Iran remains dangerous. U.S. officials say it is highly likely Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards were responsible for Sunday's attacks that blew holes in the hulls of Saudi and Norwegian tankers anchored just outside the Persian Gulf. Iranian combat divers are believed to have attached explosives to the hull. But an Arab diplomat told CBS News further investigation is needed, and Secretary of State Pompeo was unwilling to publicly blame Iran.
I don't have anything to add concrete about the connection between the actions in Iran. I think in the coming hours and days we'll know the answer to that.
The U.S. has already sent an aircraft carrier and B-52 bombers to the Persian Gulf, but President Trump denied reported plans to send as many as 120,000 more troops.
Would I do that? Absolutely. But we have not planned for that. And if we did that, we'd send a hell of a lot more troops than that.
On Capitol Hill, Virginia Democratic Senator Tim Kaine blasted the president's thinking.
Yeah, you know why? You know why everybody's blasting him? I remember Nancy Pelosi went out there and he made sure to broadcast where she was going. And she was like, that's very dangerous knowing that we're in a war and anybody could hit me. If you keep on threatening, who's going to strike? So the other guy that said, hey, what if Russia's not going to strike first? You don't know. You just don't know, because all he does is throw out blatant, hey, you'll be hit with fire and fury. Oh, we didn't plan for that, but I'll do it. No, You're just pretending that you would. You're a talker in a fight. So once the bully decides to say, who's the bully? Can somebody tell me the bully? Because America has been the police of the world for God knows how long. Any humanitarian issue, we're there. We're there to stop it. We're there to help, whatever. Who's been out of the loop this whole time, right? We're not. I would say the bear. I'm going to say the bear. The bear's the bully. So if the bear's the bully, what's the dragon? What's the dragon? And then you got North Korea and you got these people. So what are they? You don't think these people they'll come together? All right, just in case you know. Just in case you don't. I'm going to go Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9. It says, for behold, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. They shall set and array themselves against her. So, an array is a formation. So they're going to set a formation against Babylon. Who's Babylon? We don't know who Babylon is? Okay, let's act like we don't. Okay? For there she shall be captured. Their arrows shall be like those of an expert warrior. None shall return in vain. Okay? This is in Jeremiah. This is the Old Testament. Okay? Now, what arrow can a nations, great nations, an assembly of great nations that set themselves in formation, what arrow would they be throwing? Can you tell me what arrow they would possibly be throwing? Then it says, and Chaldea, which is Babylon, shall become plunder. All who plunder her shall be satisfied, because there's going to be a lot of stuff to take, a lot of riches, right? And actually, it's going to be the great nations that's plundering. They're going to be like, yo, finally we don't have no bullying us, and we ain't got to worry about somebody hitting us with nukes. We're going to hit them first. Plain and simple. That's right there. Okay. Why? Why is this happening? God don't exist. This is what you're saying in your head, right? No. Read verse 11. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, you destroyers of my heritage. What's your heritage? If I came to your house and destroyed your heritage, what's your heritage? Just in case, okay? Because you have grown fat like a heifer, like a cow. The people in America are big people. Oh, if you're in the UK, if you're in Sweden, wherever you're at, you say, America's the most obese place. Plain and simple, right? Okay, so just in case you don't believe it, you go do the research yourself. Go read, go search, okay? And you bellow like bulls. Everyone here is very aggravated and aggressive. Most of the people here, okay? Your mother shall be deeply ashamed. She who bore you will be ashamed. Behold, the least of the nations shall be like a wilderness. Do you understand? So if you don't get it, you're not going to get it. Plain and simple. This is going to go on. This is happening. Don't think that the end days are here.
It would be the height of idiocy. It would be unconstitutional. There's no way this president should get us into a war with Iran.
Iran has vehemently denied any involvement in the attacks and accused President Trump of playing a very dangerous game, risking devastating war.
President Trump denied a New York Times report the administration...
Hey. I know some of you may actually, I want to see your face. No, you ain't going to see my face. I'm bringing truth to this channel. That's it. I don't care about what, I don't like this guy, or I don't like the way he looks, or he sounds crazy, or he's a madman, or he's a fool, or he's an N-word, whatever you want to say. I'm bringing truth. You're not going to be able to judge me by my looks or my appearance. You're going to judge me by my character and what I'm putting out. If this is fake news and the Bible is man-made, why is this happening today?
There's a plan to send 120,000 U.S. troops to the region.
Would I do that? Absolutely. But we have not planned for that. Hopefully we're not going to have to plan for that. And if we did that, we'd send a hell of a lot more troops than that.
While criticizing...
Do you see that? Do you see that? So all he's telling the other nations is he's ready for war. He's just not prepared for war. Okay? He's ready for war mentally, but he's not physically prepared because he hasn't set up everything. So what does that tell the other nations? They say, we're already on the seas. We're already in the air. Why not just strike?
U.S. moves in the Persian Gulf as dangerous. Iran's ambassador to Britain added, Iran is prepared for any showdown.
We have renounced any escalation, military escalation in the region. I would assure you that Iranian government and Iranian armed forces are fully ready for any eventuality in the region.
Iran accuses the U.S. of deliberately attacking Saudi oil tankers recently in order to blame Iran. Satellite photos and video show the damage to the 4 ships loaded with oil in the Persian Gulf. In the meantime, the U.S. boosted its presence in the region by sending the USS carrier Abraham Lincoln through the Suez Canal and B-52s to Qatar. In the past few...
So when you used to hear your grandma, maybe your aunt, your mom, whoever used to tell you we're in the last days, they wasn't pulling up news articles like this. They wasn't showing you news segments. And the military was not on the sea at the escalation that they are now. You can say, oh, well, the Navy's always been patrolling, or you can say the submarines have always been moving around, but not with this intensity. Do you understand?
Few days, CBN News joined retired General Jerry Boykin on a fact-finding mission just miles from the Iranian border.
Certainly in Israel, they're a huge threat to Israel, not only because of their growing nuclear capabilities, but because they created and continue to support Hezbollah.
Former Israel ambassador to the U.S.
Now, if this is fake news, why are they getting retirees and their opinions? Huh? Would it just make the news look that more genuine or more validate? And that guy looked like he was pretty worried, so he would have to be an actor as well. Okay?
Lauren maintains the U.S. is not Iran's only Middle Eastern target.
Iran will try to
prove that it can plunge the entire Middle East. Hey, tensions are risen. Tensions are already here. The Bible talked about wars and rumors of wars. Well, I'm saying we're almost out of the rumors. There's no more rumors once the ships are in the sky. The ships are on the sea, and there's airships in the sky. There's no room at that point. Now the tensions are there, and we would have to either cease tensions or escalate. Okay? And this is escalating, because we already know the guy on the American side is going to escalate stuff. And the other people are going to say, you know what? We're getting tired of it.
Into war. That's the only way it can get out from under the sanctions, from under Secretary of State Pompeo's conditions.
Oren says both the U.S. and Israel see Iran the same way.
That's pretty cocky. That's pretty cocky to say that only Americans are going to pay. Oh, no, no, no. Because just like we have a nuclear arsenal, you guys have a nuclear arsenal. Some countries overseas promote cannibalism, eating octopus, living way out of nature. So for one, the reason why America's going to be hit first is because we kind of like adapted it. We took technology and we embraced it. Whereas over there, you know, some people like, nah, we want to have a regular means of living. We just eat weird stuff. We eat baby heads, or we eat eel, some crazy stuff like that. So you will be taken care of too. You're supposed to be eating vegetation and fruit. You're not supposed to be sitting there looking for bugs and crazy stuff like that. But you choose to do what you choose to do. So this is a global judgment. I want you to know that. Okay? Babylon's going to be hit first, but the rest of the world is going to have to go under turmoil. Do you not know that Babylon has a super volcano? So if it is pelted beyond belief, what's going to happen? For one, the New Madrid and the San Andreas fault line are going to be obliterated, okay? Obliterated. Then, what happens with the super volcano? Is that not going to go off due to the pressures of the bombs going off. Okay, so what happens with all that smoke bellowing? Smoke from the bomb, smoke from a volcano, whatever. We have 40 some odd volcanoes going off, or 30 some odd volcanoes. Do the research, check it out. If you think that I'm bugging, if you think that I'm crazy, do the research, go check it.
As the administration has said repeatedly, it is the greatest source of instability throughout this entire region. It's the world's greatest sponsor of state terrorism in the world.
The Middle East and the world will be waiting to see what turn this high-stakes showdown will take next.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be a bad problem for Iran if something happens, I can tell you that. They're not going to be happy. They are not going to be happy people. Okay?
Now, remember he said this to North Korea? Remember he said they'll be met with fire and fury, right? So all he does is threaten. He just told, because he was threatening Venezuela, Russia and China sent troops down there and 2 bombers, okay? We don't know if they're loaded. All we know that they're nuclear capable bombers. That's what they put on the news, right? He said Russia needs to get out. So these are 3 people that he's threatened with war and has not shown up. So as a Trump supporter, how do you feel about this guy in the seat?
You can figure it out yourself.
Exactly. We're going to have to figure out our own survival ourselves. In fact, before all this started, if you remember him saying, hey, there's a storm coming. He said there's a storm. This could be the calm before the storm. Okay? So he knows what he's doing. You can say he doesn't know, or this isn't real, or you're crazy. But this guy's already in the seat and he knows what he's doing.
Something happens, I can tell you that. They're not going to be happy. They are not going to be happy people. Okay? You can figure it out yourself. They know what I mean by it.
Luke 21:25.
See? You see? So he has no care for the American population. He already shut down the government. He shut down the government. It's reopened now, but he shut it down to show that he didn't care. Okay? He's pulling out of nuclear treaties to let you know war's on the loom, and he's still sending out fake. That's like me picking out one of you guys and saying, I'm going to send you a PSN card and never do it. Well, what's going to happen? Either you're going to be very upset with me, or if you're really demented, you're going to want to try to find me and fight me because I promised you something that I never did. Okay? So what happens on a global scale? A person that's running a country, how is their mindset?
There will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. One of the many signs.
Hey, get this. If this was full tube, then why is this coming from Fox News, CNN, CBS, CBN, RT? This is coming from different news facets. This is coming from different news segments. So it's not only watching full tube. See, full tube, you could broadcast yourself. You could just keep doing whatever you want. Whereas I'm actually picking up videos that people compiled of news segments, and now I'm bringing it to the public, and I'm asking you questions. So if you don't have no way to answer these questions, and you feel like this is heating your day or messing your day up, remove yourself. Just get out of the channel. Plain and simple. There's somebody out there. There was a guy that had his camera pointed at the bed. Go talk to his bed. Do that. You don't have to be here. If you think that this is full tube, if you think that I'm crazy or whatever I'm saying is crazy, remove yourself. Plain and simple. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
As we are living in the last days, right before the return of Jesus Christ, his nations will be in a state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do.
Like I said, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, and that's going to be like the motto of the channel. If you do not like what I'm saying, I am perfectly happy sitting here talking to a screen with 0 people, because at least I know that I did something for the stream. Okay? Okay? You understand? I have no problem. No problem. I have no problem. Okay? Because some of y'all got it mixed up. For some reason, you think that I may need you to be here. I don't. I really don't. I'm very cool with being here by myself, just talking. I have no problem because I'm actually seeing what's going on. This ain't fool two.
Difficult situation. This is exactly what is happening in our world today.
You know what? I'll be back because I can't stand this music. I'm gonna be right back. And if you don't want to be here, don't come.
These health workers in Angola are trying to save the weak, vulnerable and hungry. It hasn't rained properly in months, and some of these children are severely malnourished. The United Nations says more than 2 million people in the southern province of Kunene urgently need food and water, and there are fears the situation is going to get worse.
Not having food in the community and in the families directly affect the children because they rely on families who have little food reserves. That's why so many are in this precarious health condition.
Some families try to survive on wild fruit if they can find any, and finding clean water to drink and to irrigate crops is another challenge.
Oh man, what the fuck?
In some communities, farmers like Osorio Setepela say they have lost everything.
We are now starving at home and they have not water due to the drought.
Osorio is worried. What water and food he has is running out, and he has a family to feed.
In an emergency situation, all support is necessary. That is not only from the central government, but also from the international partner of the Angolan government, because this is a critical drought situation, one of the most severe in the last 20 years.
Some parts of southern Africa have recently been hit by cyclones, flash floods, and droughts. People affected by that extreme weather urgently need help, and some humanitarian workers said that aid isn't coming fast enough.
North Korea is demanding the return of a cargo ship seized by the United States. The vessel was detained in Indonesia last year and towed to American Samoa on Saturday. Washington says the vessel was carrying coal in violation of sanctions against North Korea. Rob McBride has more from the South Korean capital, Seoul.
The cargo ship, the Wise Honest, is one of North Korea's largest, and it's now been towed to the U.S. territory of American Samoa in the South Pacific. It was originally seized in Indonesia for allegedly breaking sanctions against North Korea by exporting coal, which is one of North Korea's biggest money earners, so its seizure comes as a major blow. North Korea's foreign ministry has demanded its immediate release, saying that its seizure goes against the spirit of the summit in Singapore last June between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. Meanwhile, North Korea's weapons testing and missile launches of last week seem to have put a strain on the whole process of dialogue and reconciliation.
That's fake news. That's fake news, right? Like I said, if you don't like my stream, please remove yourself. But if you have nothing to do with your life and you feel that inclined, stay here and keep on persecuting me or talking your stuff. Plain and simple. But this is actually happening. You don't even know what's happening today because we don't know what's happening. You're either in here chatting with me or I'm trying to show you this. So you don't know what they're testing today. You don't know what went down today. You don't know what's going on the battlefield. So if you don't like what I'm saying, remove yourself. I'm perfectly being in here with just 1 or 2 people. Perfect. No problems.
World Food Programme's director, David Beasley, has been in Seoul trying to organise a food shipment for North Korea, but finding problems with Moon Jae-in, South Korea's president, coming under domestic political pressure not to give such a gesture to the North after North Korea's apparent provocations of last week. North Korea's food problems, meanwhile, seem to be getting worse. It was confirmed recently that last year's harvest was the worst for 10 years, and Tuesday's edition of Rodong Sinmun, the official party newspaper, confirming that things are no better this year, with the whole of the country suffering in the first part of this year very badly.
Okay. If you don't like the channel, go, because I'm about to go in on this. Hold on. Now, this whole North Korea stuff started because they was actually doing missile tests to learn how to defend themselves, because they was getting tired of being sanctioned by the United Nations, the UN, right? We start making some kind of a good relation with North Korea. North Korea was kind of big in the news because they was trying to be nice with South Korea under America's advisory. Then Trump came over and met went over and met North Korea, right? And that was all to de-escalate the missile program testing. Well, they went back. They said, well, if war's being on the loom, we want to protect our people. They said, oh, so you're not going to listen to us, and you're going to keep on making your missile treat. You're still going to keep on your missile program. You're going to keep testing, right? Okay, well, if we see any ships, we're seizing them. They seized the coal ship, one of the biggest imports or exports that North Korea has. Now, the population is going into starvation. What does Kim Jong-un do at this point? Huh? You let me know. And I can't even really ask you because you don't run the country. So you would probably say, you probably jump out of bed and kill yourself, or whatever the hell you would say. You would say some real retarded stuff, and this man is now building an arsenal. Okay?
Pressure not to give such a gesture to the North after North Korea's apparent provocations of last week. North Korea's food problems, meanwhile, seem to be getting worse. It was confirmed recently that last year's harvest was the worst for 10 years, and Tuesday's edition of Rodong Sinmun, the official party newspaper, confirming that things are no better this year, with the whole of the country suffering in the first part of this year very badly from drought.
We are currently living in a time Jesus refers to as the birth pains. We are fast approaching a time known as the tribulation, that Jesus says will be the worst time in human history, as we read in Matthew 24:21. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Tribulation is problem with mass hysteria, okay? Just in case you didn't know what tribulation was, all right?
We are currently witnessing events that will continue to become more frequent and more intense until God pours out his final judgments on an unbelieving and unrepentant world. One of the judgments described in the book of Revelation includes the price of food being so high and scarce that it will cost a full day's wages just to barely get enough to eat, as we read in Revelation 6:5 and 6. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine."
A denarius was a day's pay. That's how much you got paid for the whole day. So you would have to pay a whole day's pay, and that happened in the Soviet Union, not Russia, not today. Soviet Union. I believe that was like in the 90s or the 80s. You understand? So they're saying it's about to go back to it. even with all this fake processed artificial food, the fake GMO stuff, all this stuff, we're still going to have to pay a whole day's pay just for some real food.
Preacher saying, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine. In this prophecy, it will cost a day's wages just for a loaf of bread. We are not in the tribulation period yet, but we are getting extremely close.
Now, not according to some of these antichrists in the chat, okay? So, when your calamity comes, the first thing anyone does when, oh my God, or Jesus Christ, or something like that, when your calamity comes, just take it. Stand there and embrace it, okay? Somebody comes up to you with a gun, don't curl up, just take it. If you see a nuke in the sky, don't curl up, look at it and say, hey, fake news, plain and simple, because you didn't believe in no God, so you can't say, oh God, or God forgive me, or take my soul, or you can't say none of that. You got to look up and you just got to embrace what's happening.
The National Weather Service confirmed at least one tornado touched down today east of Raleigh, North Carolina. Homes were damaged and trees knocked down, but no serious injuries were reported. David Begnaud has more on this outbreak of dangerous storms.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? They were saying that before. They was like, wait, so you're telling me that a guy's actually going to want to change into a girl at some point? What the F, right? Plain and simple. So now that we're actually in that time, why is it so far-fetched to actually think that drought and plague is coming? And famine. Drought, plague, famine. Why is it hard to believe? That's pure death. Just like the comment said earlier, we need population control. We got people leaving their children. We got women aborting children. It's just really becoming a sloppy society. So now that we have an LGBTQ community, where's the P's at? Where are we going to start seeing the pedos? Where are the P's at? So eventually we're going to get to that point. Do you want to see that for your niece, nephew, your son, your daughter? You want to see that? So we have to have this population control. It's automatic. So what would be the best way for a spiritual God who we don't see, that everybody says, they don't exist, he don't exist. How would be the best way for him to destroy the physical? By removing all the physical things, i.e. nuclear destruction, famine, disease, okay?
Oh, man. Severe weather today in Garner, North Carolina brought Gulf-sized hail that shattered windshields and damaged cars. That same system...
Now, imagine me telling them people, hey, you know, a hailstorm's coming and your house is going to be all messed up. They would have looked at me and said, you're crazy. We seen hail, but we ain't got to worry about nothing. You see? So every time somebody's warned, they just push it aside. Fake news, your garbage, your BS. You're not telling us the truth, right? Or you're eating a hot pocket. You're laying in the bed. No one knows anything, and everybody's so quick to dismiss. That's why destruction comes quick. That's why judgment moves swift. Because everybody just denounces stuff and dismisses stuff so quickly. Okay? So let's check it.
City that sits below sea level, New Orleans. It happened Saturday with 2 inches of rain falling per hour. Neighborhoods flooded and public transportation was halted. Just outside New Orleans, the Bonnie Carey Spillway has been opened in order to stop the mighty Mississippi River from overflowing levees and flooding the Crescent City. Today marks the 200th day that the Mississippi River has been at flood stage in South Louisiana. 41% of the country's water is drained through here and into the Gulf of Mexico. Colonel Michael Clancy is with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Right now, the Mississippi River, if it were to flow into the Superdome, it would fill the Superdome up in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Jesus declares this in Matthew.
Whoa. Now, you know, for me showing a lot of fake news, I'm starting to see a lot more military. What's going on? If this is fake news, why is the military now in on it? Are they trying to scare the masses and the population too? Or is this a little bit of a warning and a precursor to the things that are about to happen?
20. 4:37 through 39. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be.
Can somebody tell me what made Noah build that ark? And when he was telling other people about a mass flood or water coming down, why wasn't anybody else building an ark? Why was he the only one? What made him do it? And why didn't the others around him believe him? It doesn't matter now. That's history, right? That's history. Or some people will say fake history or whatever. You see?
Jesus tells us in verse 37, when our days parallel the days of Noah, he is returning. One of the things that parallel our days with the days of Noah is the unprecedented flooding the world has been experiencing over the last few years. Jesus goes on to tell us in verses 38 and 39 that when he returns, things will be going on as normal, as people will be eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. Just as in the days of Noah, when people were caught off guard and the flood came, so also will people of our time be caught.
So, my dude, wherever you at, you actually think Russia's not going to strike first? I'm trying to tell you, this is going to come out of nowhere. The Bible says he's coming as a thief in the night. So if you knew you was about to die tomorrow, you would be making all the preparations today. You'd be having all the best fun you can. No, these people are supposed to be taken off guard. You've been saying that there's no God. He wants to make a surprise appearance. Okay?
Off guard when Jesus returns.
Last month was the second warmest April on record, with above-average temperatures over most of the globe. In Iran and other parts of the Middle East, the unusually wet spring caused continued flooding. Southeastern Siberia, Central and Eastern Europe were drier than average. The warm and dry conditions increased the likelihood of wildfires that swept through the Transbaikal region in Russia, parts of Sweden and the UK. Mozambique was hit by the second devastating cyclone in 2 months. Dozens of people lost their lives and more than 20,000 have been made homeless. The melting of land ice and thermal expansion of the ocean led to a continued rise in sea levels, threatening coastal communities around the world. Over the past 25 years, global sea level has increased by about 8 centimeters.
No, wait, let's go back. Go back. Check that out, please. The reason that we've been having all these problems for the last few years was this. It was greenhouse gases. They were saying the greenhouse gases is melting the ice, and the ice melts, and all this other craziness. Well, now then the sea levels are rising, right? Sea ice melts, then it goes into the air, comes back down, sea level rise, right? Plain and simple, common sense. So it's all for the fact that we're using technology, greed, smart cars, smartphones, and now if you try to go get solar panel, that's like $50,000, right? Something around there. If you want a nice hybrid car, would you believe Nikola Tesla had a car that could run off of water or air, solar powered or something like that? This could have been on the market a while ago, a long time ago, and now we're still sitting here messing with fossil fuels. We had to dig into the ground. We have to do abnormal stuff. Destruction, destroying, okay?
And sea levels threatening coastal communities around the world. Over the past 25 years, global sea level has increased by about 8 centimeters.
Jesus, speaking to his disciples about the signs of his coming and the end of the age, declares this in Matthew 24:12. And because lawlessness...
Wait, does grass not grow in water? If all that's being rained on, and there's actual floods and the water's being displaced from the Arctic, from the North and South poles, they're saying that Antarctica is melting. They're saying that an ice shelf broke off the North Pole. So, if this water is being displaced and it comes down onto dry, arid lands or wherever, is that not going to grow grass? Huh?
Increased, the love of many will grow cold. The Bible tells us lawlessness is the violation of God's commandments, as we read in 1 John 3:4. Whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. Sin will be so rampant and so commonplace in the last days that the love people once had for one another, for many, will be non-existent. In this prophecy, Jesus Christ is describing an ongoing breakdown in the relationship with God. And since people's love for God is waning, it will be evident in the way people treat one another as well. A symptom may be that the love toward other people is decreasing, but the real cause is that the relationship with God is cooling off. This is what we are witnessing in our world today.
A man is charged with killing one hiker, wounding another in a knife attack. Stephanie Ramos is in Bluemont, Virginia with that story for us. Good morning, Stephanie.
Robin, good morning. For the past couple of weeks, hikers along the Appalachian Trail here in Virginia warned each other about another hiker who had threatened them. This latest encounter with that man turned deadly. Accused killer. 30-year-old James Jordan made his first court appearance Monday, charged with attacking hikers and killing a man along the Appalachian Trail in Southwest Virginia.
We received several calls about a male subject who goes by the name of Sovereign.
According to the federal complaint, Jordan, who lives in Massachusetts, approached a random group of hikers along the trail, threatening to pour gasoline on their tents and burn them to death. Scared for their lives, the 4 hikers decided to leave the campsite, and that's when police say Jordan pulled out a large knife, chasing 2 of the hikers who later called 911.
The male subject who chased them is reported to have a machine.
Hey, let me ask that. If Moses was a white man, why did he go in Egypt and tell the Pharaoh to let his people go? Was the Egyptians enslaving white people? And if that was the case, how come the only slavery I've heard of white people was the Irish slaves or the potato famine? Type that. Let me know that.
Authorities say when Jordan returned to the campsite, he started arguing with the other 2 hikers, fatally stabbing a man and seriously injuring a woman. The man managing to send an SOS signal on his phone before dying. As the woman ran for her life, authorities say Jordan caught up to her and stabbed her several times. She fell to the ground and played dead until he left. She then ran for help.
We did receive a call from a female subject who's been stabbed multiple times.
Authorities arresting Jordan 3 hours later.
Could you imagine the fear? That chick, she could have been an atheist, like one of the people that just don't believe, right? Then all of a sudden, this stranger out of nowhere comes and stabs her multiple times. She has to fall on the floor and fake death. This guy goes running off. He came out of nowhere like out of a blue moon. He just came out of nowhere, stabbed her, ran off, and then she had to get up in pain, stabbed numerous times, and make herself back to the precinct. And you're telling me that the Bible's man-made? Okay. Obviously, you don't believe in spiritual connections. Obviously, you think that there's something wrong with this. Oh, no, you think nothing's wrong with it.
Ran for her life. Authorities say Jordan caught up to her and stabbed her several times. She fell to the ground and played dead until he left. She then ran for help.
We did receive a call from a female subject who's been stabbed multiple times.
Authorities arresting Jordan 3 hours later.
There was not a lot of noticeable blood on him, and he was kind of dirty looking.
James Jordan had been arrested before for threatening hikers along the same trail, most recently in Tennessee. But no one pressed charges, so he was placed on probation and later released.
The Apostle Paul, in his epistle to Timothy, tells us in the last days society will be in a total immoral meltdown.
Yeah, look.
3:1-5.
Moses is real. Moses was white. That's what one of the comments said. They just showed Paul, or a painting of the so-called Paul. He looked kind of white. Why don't you guys believe in God then? He's supposed to be a white guy. You treat him like he's black, like he don't exist. So what's going on with that? Huh?
I know this, that in the last days...
I think some of y'all in here are racist. And if you're racist, this is why judgment is falling upon the earth. I was trying to tell you that before. Racism and greed is the reason that these things are transpiring now. So if you don't want to hear it, like I said before, I am very comfortable being in here with just a few people. I have no problem. Because at least I know I tried to put the message out, and those that are meant to hear it will hear it. The other people, you're just persecutors. That's it. You're persecuting me You're a despiser of good because I'm trying to tell you this that happened 22 hours ago. Not to mention, 3 hours ago on Google, they were saying that Iran war is going to be a proxy war. Okay, so you can say whatever negativity you want, because I've bet. Hey, I didn't invite you, and I also told you if you don't like the stream, to remove yourself. So either you like me a lot and you like being in the stream, or you have nothing to do with your life and you're just bored. Okay. But either way, one way or the other, you're still hearing this. So it's up to you to receive it.
Perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, and from such people turn away.
Now let's turn our attention to Germany, where police investigating the killings of 3 people shot with crossbows in a hotel room have found 2 more.
Don't ask me how we racist. Go read some of them comments. Scroll up a little bit. You'll see how you're racist. And hey, I don't know if you're racist. I can't say that you're racist specifically. But if you typed anything racist, you know how you feel deep down inside. You know how you feel when you go outside and you see a person like this right there in front of you. You know how you feel when you stand next to a person like this right in front of you. Okay? Some of the negative comments that I've received just off of me just broadcasting my voice, that lets me know what type of person you are. So when you go outside of your door, just know that you're enabling the judgment that's spewing upon the earth. You chose not to change. You chose not to promote positivity and unification. All you chose to do is start separating people due to their appearance, okay? Just off of their skin color. So you didn't judge the person by their character and their mindset. You just judged the person by the way they look, okay? So 9 times out of 10, when that happens to you, because who's doing the devastation? Who's the ones pressing the buttons? It's not guys that look like this. Last time I checked, it's guys that look like Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin, okay? So whenever you have hate, whenever you don't know which way to go, look in the mirror and try to change yourself. Plain and simple. Make a connection with God. You need to start praying. You need to pray, get right, start repenting. If you don't want to repent, you're doomed. You're doomed. That's it. Your future is just as void and non-valid as the comments that you're typing. Because you know that I'm going to keep on coming back to the stream doing my stuff on my channel. I could be a real dictative Hitler and actually block some people, but I would never do that. I would never do that. You know why? Because I appreciate the people that's here. I appreciate the viewer. Even though you put in negativity, you still hear this. You still see this. And you choose to look past it. So you will be judged for that. Plain and simple. I'll be judged. I'm a human. Of course, I know I'll be judged, but you'll be judged just as much, okay? If not worse. Because at least I tried to get this word out. At least I tried to get a few people to change their ways and change their character. And you, whoever you are, wants to try to stop that. So where is your end when you make it to the next afterlife, huh?
600 kilometers away. The discovery adds another layer of mystery to the deaths in Passau next to the Austrian border. Neil O'Reilly has more details.
A gruesome and gripping case with apparently linked killings hundreds of kilometers apart. The bodies of 2 women were found at an apartment in northern Germany belonging to one of 3 people shot dead with crossbow bolts at this hotel in the south of the country. The police are struggling for answers.
The findings so far are that the 3 bodies were found in a room at a guest house. Arrows were stuck in the corpses. A total of 3 crossbows were found in the room where the bodies were located. One of them was inside a bag.
The victims at the hotel in Passau were a 53-year-old man and 2 women in their 30s. Police say there are no indications anyone else was involved in the deaths, but the underlying circumstances...
What? Wait a minute. Not unless those 2 women was that guy's daughters. What was that old man doing? What was that old man doing in there with them 2 30-year-olds? What's going on?
A total of 3 crossbows were found in the room where the bodies were located. One of them was inside a bag.
The victims at the hotel in Passau were a 53-year-old man and 2 women in their 30s. Police say there are... It
sounded like this guy went and brought himself some stuff and brought it back to this little hotel, and somebody went 8 on them. They came in with 3 crossbows and shot these people. Okay, so this is fake news too, right? All I'm promoting and showing you is fake news. I'm showing you the mindset of the world that we're currently in. I'm showing you the atmosphere of the world that we're currently in. Okay?
Indications anyone else was involved in the deaths, but the underlying circumstances have yet to be revealed.
One of the many signs that we are living in the end times is the epidemic of violence that is sweeping the world today. Jesus tells us when society parallels the days of Noah, he will return, as we read in Matthew 24:37 through 39. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. So what was going on in Noah's day that parallels our day? To find out the answer, we need to go back to the book of Genesis 6:5 through 13. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth. And he was...
You see? So just in case you say God don't exist or I don't believe in God and stuff like that, this is why all this stuff is happening. This is because people didn't believe back then. Back then people didn't believe, because the flood didn't happen. Why did the flood happen? Well, just like it says, men continually did what they wanted to do. They was up there having sex with each other's wives. They was just being human, being human. And next thing you knew, since you was living out of the accord, the natural accord, then judgment came, plain and simple. There was a warning. Noah was that warning. Now people say Noah didn't exist. We can't find the ark. All kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, I read another atheist quote. They say, how are freshwater fish survived in the flood? This is all the type of stuff, as if this stuff isn't going down. Okay? As if prophecy isn't happening in front of your face. Okay? So believe Noah didn't exist. Believe Moses didn't exist. And believe that the Bible's man-made. Okay? Meanwhile, prophecy's happening. So, like I said, don't believe. Don't believe. 17,000 within 22 hours. Somebody's watching. Somebody's watching. And then yesterday, there was 30,000. Okay? So there's people watching. Some people said that those people were nut jobs. Well, those people are people that want to be enlightened. Those are people that actually want to know what's going on in the world. Whereas if you just want to watch a stream of a bed, you're able to do that. Everyone's able to do what they want. Okay? Look at the top of the screen. It says, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Okay? So that meant when they was back there, they was living without cause or care. Okay? They could murder, they could do whatever they wanted. They didn't have to worry about cops, they didn't have to worry about a society. They was doing what they wanted. Okay?
Believed in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And there is
now what's also funny is all these black jokes or whatever racist stuff that you're saying in the comments. Meanwhile, when I first heard about God, he was promoted to me as a white guy, old white guy, right? And now all this stuff is happening. What's going on? Where's the racism? Why is there racism? That I'm not understanding.
The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, the end of all.
God didn't put us in no situation. This is our own free will. Just like it just said, men was living in their free will before the flood hit. So judgment comes in stages. First stage was water. The second stage was slavery. The third stage and final stage would be by fire. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So if you don't believe that, go do the research. That's all I've been saying. If you don't believe what I'm saying, I'm very cool with being in here with just a few people, with just two people, as long as they understand what I'm saying, okay?
Flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And there is no doubt about the hour in which we live being the season for the return of the Lord Jesus Christ, as we link Matthew 24, verses 12 and 37 through 39 with 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. The Bible describes our day very clearly from these scriptures. The condition of wickedness and violence that caused the earth to be destroyed in Noah's day is the same condition our earth is in today.
Muslims.
Oh, and that's another thing. The guy that made this video, y'all hear his voice. Now you can tell off of my voice, you sound like Mr. B, or you sound like black bastard, or whatever you're saying racial, right? But this guy doesn't sound like me, so you know that he's of another race. Why are you still trying to come up against me? Go to this guy's page and tell him that he's promoting fair porn. He's got 17,000 people. You think he's going to care about what your little self is going to say? But I'm actually taking out the time to actually understand what you're saying, and you're not making any sense. You're saying that I'm promoting fake news when I'm promoting you with different segments. How is that all fake? Are they all getting the same manuscript?
Marks the beginning of Ramadan on Monday. From Afghanistan to Zanzibar, Muslims will use this holy month to fast and pray with hopes of getting closer to God.
That's a lot of black people. That's a lot of black people. All right? So I think y'all should start worrying about all the stuff you say about Muslims. See, for what I'm starting to understand is from the slave ship to now, we're the only ones that's praying and worshiping God. Everybody else want to turn into death metal, Metallica, or gothic, demon worshiping, or vampires, or some kind of weird dichotomy. Meanwhile, we know that we need to pray to a higher source, or to a light. You see, everyone is always dressed in white. That's black. Meanwhile, the white people are dressed in black. What is going on? All right? Do you understand where we're at? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's where the racism should need to stop. Maybe the white people should start wearing white too. What's wrong? Why am I always seeing a Hasidic Jew dressed head to toe, black hat to black shoes, all in black? Huh? Why is the emos and the gothic people dressed in all black? Why are they always wearing upside down crosses and stuff? What's wrong? And now, even on a higher scale, you look at a corporation owner, a businessman in a two-piece suit or three-piece suit. He's got a white shirt on, maybe a black tie or blue tie, and his rest of the suit black suit. So let me know where I'm going off, okay?
It's the one time in the year when followers of Islam are expected to increase their spiritual devotion to the Prophet as they spend time reading the Quran and reciting prayers. For 30 days, Muslims must abstain from drinking, eating, smoking, immoral acts, and anger. The ritual begins at dawn and ends at dusk. Joining me is Paul Philidis of worldchristian.com.
Yeah, that guy right there, he should be the actual guy bowing down to the cobblestone, okay? That guy right there should be bowing down to the cobblestone. And you can't tell me if Allah likes raisin heads or not when it's your people that's been destroying the planet for centuries. Are you kidding me? Just to build an empire, you will enslave a race. That's insane. And then once you enslave that race and you beat them dry and you work them to death, then you start capitalizing off of your empire by capitalism, right? Then you start making an economy and a system that you charge everybody to be in your empire. So don't tell me if Allah likes raisin heads and you haven't never spoke to Allah. You probably got a demon picture in on your wall somewhere, okay? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it, okay? Don't tell me you're Antichrist if you're still here in the chat. Obviously, you're for Christ. You just want to be proven wrong. And this is proving you wrong. This is going on a global scale.
55 years, his group has annually distributed tens of thousands of prayer guide booklets to help Christians learn about, pray for, and reach out to Muslims during Ramadan. Paul, thank you so much for coming on the show. How do Muslims observe Ramadan and what's its significance?
Well, thank you. Okay, and comes the racism. Okay, and comes the racism. I'm good with every one of you spewing your racism, because I know that the detriment of society is due to your mentality. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. The way that you want the world to be is the reason that the world's at the climactic stage that it's at right now. So you can come in here, spew your racism, say your worst. I'm totally good with it. I understand why you're persecuting me, out of your fear of judgment. Well, judgment is still going to be commenced. Just because the prisoner knows that he's in court and he now wishes he didn't do what he did, does that mean that the judge says throw out the case? No, you're still going to be judged, plain and simple. So you can come in here and say whatever negative stuff you want, and that's just going to add on to your time.
Muslims from many cultures, from many geographical regions, in a common devotion to what they understand God expects of them. And so it's a very significant time.
And if Allah doesn't like raisin heads, then who else is praying to him? Because I dang sure don't see the Republicans or the Democrats or the European Union or the whole France country bowing down. I don't see nobody doing that. So who does he love?
to be aware of that happening in the Muslim world, and to ask the Father.
Every time I try to actually like move past and let someone come in, it gets worse. And I'm cool. It just, I'm gonna let you know that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because if you didn't do research, you can't call nobody dumb. You can't tell me if my people did anything to me, if I'm constantly seeing you in my comments trying to police my channel, okay? So when judgment does come upon you, make sure you don't say, oh God, or Jesus Christ. Don't call for none of them, because you did not believe and you choose to live in negativity, okay? So once that's done, be on about your way, okay? It also says in the Bible, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. And if you're saying that your own people sold you, well, when we got here, it was enforced and we were hung and we were beat. So if you think for 1 second that you're going to get away with that, you or your heritage, if you think you or your heritage is getting away from that, you are sadly mistaken. I've already read it out of the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. If you don't want to read it, don't read it. I already gave you the information. It's up to you to receive it. If you don't want to receive it, remove yourself. But obviously you're here for a reason, because I wouldn't have these many viewers for no reason. So remove yourself if you think that I'm crazy, okay?
Bless Muslims during this time, to actually reveal himself to them during this time.
Why is fasting so important during Ramadan?
No, not Christian, believer. I'm a believer. There's not no Christian stuff here. I read the Bible. See, a Christian will just go off of whatever the pastor tells them, or they'll go to Catholic church and they'll listen to the Catholics, and then they'll see a little bit of news and then they'll probably bug out. No. I actually brought you scripture, and I'm telling you. See, a Christian has to be told what to do. Whereas I learn on my own. I don't need a pastor. I don't need a father. I don't need nobody. I read the Bible on my own just to see what's actually going on. Then I search and I start doing research, and I start studying the news. Okay? That's all I do. Plain and simple. You can say, oh, all you do is snatch somebody else's video, or all you do is... No, you can say whatever you want. If you do not like this channel, please remove yourself. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I'm a believer. You're not going to throw a label on me and, oh, he's a Christian, or he believes in the Bible. No, I'm looking at the prophecies of the Bible, and they're being enacted in these news segments. So once the drama's on, you know who to either call upon or who to run from. Plain and simple.
Muslims. I believe it is called upon them to do so, to prove their
Hey, if I was the moron, remove yourself. Why would I have to kick you? Why would I have to kick somebody that's smarter than me? If you're able to say that I'm lower than you, you will remove yourself.
To show their devotion.
Do Muslims use this time to get closer to the Prophet Muhammad?
People in the world, and Muslims too, are very aware that they fall short, that they are sinners, and so they are hoping to balance out some of their wrongdoing in their daily lives by being good followers and good practitioners during Ramadan, and hopefully they will get some credit for it.
How do you want Christians to use the prayer guide that you've been putting out for 25 years?
Well, George, my biggest passion in all of this has always been to call Christians to learn about Muslims. See, when we only know about Muslims from what we see in the news headlines or on TV, many people are afraid of Muslims, hate Muslims, want to kill them all. And even among Christians, I believe that attitude can emerge. So by praying for Muslims, by reading through these prayer guides, which are quite informative and colorful, they learn about Muslims.
Don't tell me who to judge before I start judging others. I'm telling you what I'm seeing in the news segment. In my news segment, when I see somebody like me, maybe they're fighting another person that looks like me. Whereas when I see a news segment about you, you're either policing somebody or you're about to blow somebody the hell up. Okay? So don't tell me about policing anything. I'll do what I want to do. Okay? If you racist, if you do not like the sound of my voice or the color of my skin, remove yourself. Remove it. Just go. Go. Shoo. Have a good day. Be gone. Okay? Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
And realize that Muslims are normal people who have aspirations, who have families, who have hopes, who have dreams, who have tragedies in their life. And by praying for them, you cannot...
You're telling me those that judge shall be judged? Are you serious? And you've been in here judging me since you got here? Remove yourself. Why would I have to remove you? Why would I have to block you? And I'm not going to. I'm pretty sure people have seen all the derogatory stuff The worst you could call me is an N-word. That's the worst. You can say that I'm a dumb. You can say I'm dumb. You can say whatever you want. I'm still going to promote this. I'm still seeing this. So you're not going to stop this channel. So if it's to your benefit of your mind, your mentality, remove yourself. Okay?
But get God's heart for them. And God loves Muslims just as much as anybody else.
Yeah, keep laughing.
Christians.
Please keep laughing. Because from what I'm seeing, there's a crusade going, but it's against Christians. So you're joining the crusade against Christians. So yeah, let's have a crusade. Let's start genociding. That's what the beginning of this stream was showing you. There was a genocide of Christians. Christians who are nowadays called puppets because they just follow anything that they, right? So we just promote positivity, unification. We're not the ones beheading people and cutting people up or shooting people up. We don't, where? You show me. You tell me, okay? Where do you see that? And join the crusade. Let's make a crusade. Who's the crusade going to be against? Huh? Oh, wait. Me and people like me, right? So that doesn't go back to negativity. That doesn't go back to greed and racism. That's the reasons that you're in this predicament that you're in, okay?
Specifically for Muslims during this holy month of Ramadan?
Well, you know, you may have heard too about, there are so many stories circulating about Muslims having dreams from God. I believe that God is sovereignly revealing himself through dreams and calling Muslims to himself. The greatest movement among Muslims toward Jesus is happening in the last few decades.
Okay.
And I think Christians...
So even the Muslims are moving towards Jesus. And that's a lot of people on your screen. So just because 3, 4, maybe 5 of you don't believe, does that mean that it's not going to happen? Does that mean that it still go void? Does that mean that all these people that's worshiping that stone in the middle, you're telling me that all this is false to them and none of this stuff is going to happen, right? These are all dumbasses. I'm a dumbass. We're all dumbasses, right? But you're still in the stream that you don't like.
Or to pray with hope during Ramadan for Muslims that God will reveal himself to them.
And that's probably one of the most untold stories of what is happening among Muslims around the world, that so many are coming to faith in Jesus Christ, many times through dreams and visions.
Acts 2:17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, says God, that I will pour out of my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your young men shall see visions, your old men shall dream dreams.
It really is. In 1400 years of Christian-Muslim relationships, never has this been happening before, that there are movements even in different parts of the Muslim world, movements of Muslims becoming Jesus followers, not just individuals here and there as we have been gotten so used to, but nowadays there are whole groupings, whole movements. God is calling Muslims to himself, and what is happening in the political realm and the terrorist realm
now,
as well.
What we need to ask the question is, for Muslims, God was Allah. Why are they starting to wane towards Jesus? Where's that coming from? If Jesus wasn't real, Moses wasn't real, none of these people were real, why is a whole religion starting to go the other way? Huh?
I think a lot of Muslims are disappointed and are waking up to, is this what our religion is about, this extremism, and asking questions.
Paul, will you please pray for Muslims during Ramadan?
Heavenly Father, we thank you that you have called us to be
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. 18 people in here and 1 wants me banned. Or maybe 3. Remove yourself. Remove yourself. And in fact, now, just because of that, now I actually have to find a way and start researching on how to block you morons. For no reason. No reason. I'm showing you news, and now you want me removed. You want me banned. For what? For you coming in my room and you spewing whatever you spewing on the comment section, right? As if other people haven't been banned and put up other accounts. So that's why when your judgment comes, it's going to be great and swift. And then you're going to have to answer. You're going to have to answer for whatever you've done. Plain and simple.
And Muslims are one of the largest groups of neighbors in our world. And you bring them to us, to our shores, to our countries, to our neighborhoods. Give us the kind of love and hospitality to reach out to them, to meet your call, to fulfill your call. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
John 14:6.
Amen. Amen. Now, all you have to do is get right with God. Plain and simple. Get right with God. You don't believe in God? Remove yourself from my channel. Plain and simple. I've been on here for an hour 45 minutes spreading the same message. If you came in here maliciously, if you came in here negativity, then you need to be judged. You need to be removed yourself. You need to be banned. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, hopefully you get good with God. You get right. You better start changing your ways. I don't see that ever happening. I don't think you're going to do it. But you know what? I can't judge. Just like he said, those that judge shall be judged. So, I'm not going to judge. All I'm doing is putting out. You're judging me. You're telling me you don't have a job, you're black, all kinds of racist stuff. This is what I'm reading in my comments. So, before anybody comes, YouTube or whoever, they're going to read the comments, okay? And they're going to see where I came from. Plain and simple.
Said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
One day, Jesus is coming. You may be at church. You may be at work. You may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurred on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready! Get ready!
Just in case, everyone thinks that it's fake. Everyone thinks it's not real. Everyone thinks that this is fake news and it's not coming. All right? The ships are on the sea.
Rebecca Grant, she's national security and a military analyst.
The ships are on the sea. The ships are on the sea. Just in case.
That the administration likely has good intelligence that there's a threat to U.S. troops in the region. What do you think they have, and how serious is that threat?
Well, Iran is reacting.
I'm so happy to see all the atheists. Hey, hold on. I want you to know genuinely, I am so happy to see all you atheists, because none of you have been able to answer any of my questions, and you just promote negativity. So, if anyone does come in here, hopefully a moderator does come, they're going to see all this negative stuff. So good. Keep on going. And then not only does that do that to me, but the openness that I've allowed you to have, I'm going to have to start restricting. Why would I have to do that? Because you're coming in here with negativity. When you could just leave the stream. There's other streams going to somebody else's stream. Plain and simple. Say, I seen this nut job over here. I don't want to watch him no more, so I'm coming to your stream. Plain and simple. Why would you be here?
Intelligence. I think that's why Secretary Pompeo stopped off in Iraq. So what they're seeing is increased indications and warning of possible threats to our forces there. We have planes flying out of several bases, 5,000 forces in Iraq, U.S. Navy forces there. But the problem with Iran is you've got to send a really bold message. It's got to be all caps. And it has to say, don't try it. That's why we see this extra level of military forces going into the region.
You know what some of the critics are
saying. So, she just said that there's military tensions. And if we do what she said to do, what happens with the other ones that we have problems with?
Joined by Dr. Rebecca Grant. She's now.
What happens with the other people we have problems with?
And I think there's clearly some good intelligence. I think that's why Secretary Pompeo stopped off in Iraq. So what they're seeing is increased indications and warning of possible threats to our forces there. We have planes flying out of several bases, 5,000 forces in Iraq, U.S. Navy forces there. But the problem with Iran is you've got to send a really bold message. It's got to be all caps. And it has to say, don't try it. That's why we see this extra level of military forces going into the region.
You know what some of the critics are saying? They are accusing the administration of trying to hype this up. Here's Chuck Hagel, former Obama defense secretary, saying, quote, "It's not unusual to have an aircraft battle group in the Persian Gulf. We do that all the time. But I'm concerned that this administration is baiting Iran in a very dangerous way." Do you buy that?
None of this is provocative, and the CENTCOM commander, General McKenzie, has said we don't seek conflict with Iran. Now, having said that, note to Iran, our U.S. bomber crews have been studying...
All the other comments have been irrelevant, so I'm not even going to say anything to them. But you know what? We may not know the day or the hour, but you should be making a connection. You should be trying to at least make a daily connection with God. And just like you're saying, you're very right. It can happen at any time. Do you think that people that plan to get shot and murdered plan that out? Nobody plans their death. All right? Plain and simple.
For 20 years. They are more...
Now, if this is fear, if I'm promoting fear, what's the news doing? What's the news segment doing? Because you're saying on my channel, I have not even invited any one of you. You're saying on my channel, I'm promoting fear. And I'm seeing this, and this is causing me to make a stream. So did not these people promote fear first? And then I came up and said, yo, people, why aren't we doing any streams on this? Why isn't anybody talking about this? And then I got a few of you coming in here saying, oh, it's fake news. As if you live right on the shorelines and you can see if there's any boats passing. And if you do, please do a stream. Take some pictures and show us. That's all I'm asking. Hey, I guarantee you this. If Wig Split, Callie, Beck Pete, if any of these people, any of these nut jobs, right, actually went and did some streaming, maybe you'd be in their room and then you wouldn't have a problem with me. But either you can't get a camera or you don't want to hear the news.
Than ready. And so, Eric, the point is that Iran tends to be very reckless, prone to mischief. They make stupid diplomatic moves. And to deter and make sure our forces are safe, we have to be extra clear that Iran just can't try it. We can't risk them being reckless. And that's what I see the administration doing, both with the force deployments and the messaging.
Do you think this is enough? Should we do more?
It looks like it's good. What I see here is a few more pieces moved onto the chessboard. I'm interested that General McKenzie, who is a Marine, has deployed the USS Arlington. That's an amphib, a landing dock ship, and it brings him some extra capability close by to deal with the Iranian small boat threat. He also has some extra helicopters and, of course, some Marines. The B-52s, instead of sending 1 or 2, they've sent 4, again, making the message very clear. And those B-52s also have an excellent overwater search and weapons capability. And then, of course, very important that we see Patriot missiles and missile batteries going in to beef up the presence that's already there for the netted air defense of the Gulf region, U.S. forces and our allies.
Yeah, you mentioned small boat.
Now, if I'm bugged out, tell me why this is happening. Somebody please tell me why this is happening. Huh? Nothing? Still pure negativity? So that means that no one cares. No one cares. Everybody's saying anyway. Everybody's saying nobody cares. But you're still here in the street because your favorite streamer isn't up. But what gets me is if your favorite streamer isn't up, why don't you make a stream? Why don't you take your friends and go make a stream? Plain and simple.
They are for years notorious for basically like little gnats, little annoying gnats kind of swarm near our naval ships. And at one point, it has been said.
That's who I want to see. I want to know what he's doing. I want to know what the president of Russia's doing. Okay?
Dawn and Mike Pompeo's on a mission that didn't go quite the way he planned. Pompeo has been on the road for the past week, rallying support for Washington's Iran policy. Last Wednesday, he abruptly pulled out of a scheduled meeting with Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel. Instead, he met Iraqi leaders and warned them that Iran's threat to American interests in the region was growing. He then postponed a trip to Russia to share...
How about you dump me now? I would be perfect with you dumping me now. Don't wait for Savage. Go watch some YouTube clips of Savage. Savage has his own channel. You could watch some old streams of Savage, and you could get your laughs out. Get out of here. Just leave.
Iran intelligence with European leaders in Brussels, but they didn't offer him their backing.
On the European Union side, on the member states of the European Union side, there's full determination to do all we can, as I said, with all our instruments.
See, for some reason, a few of y'all in here think that war is war, and we've been in war, and we're just going to keep going through war, and whatever the heck you're thinking, war is money, whatever. But you're missing the fact that these are nuclear talks. Nukes are on the table, all right? So I don't know where you're thinking that this is just one of them regular wars. You need to do more research. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You can say World War II was with nukes too. No, they did not have a hypersonic nuclear missile. Okay? You can actually go to YouTube and type in hypersonic. Hold on. There you go, right there at the top. Hypersonic missile, Russia. Plain and simple, right? Let's see. Look, okay? So this isn't the same type of war that your mom was telling you about, your aunt, your uncle. Let's see. 1 year ago that was made, right? Now we only have one hypersonic device as Americans. Here. Let's see this. Just in case you think, oh, this is crazy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not doing his research. I'm not doing my research, right? Why does the US not have a supersonic AMS? Plain and simple, right? Anti-ship missiles. Why don't we have hypersonic? No, why don't we have supersonic? They have hypersonic, okay? No. Don't call me the space cadet. Go check your boy, your president-elect. He's building a space force, okay? A United States Space Force. So if I'm the space cadet, he must be the captain, okay? Because why is they coming out with a space force after years of us just worrying about Air Force, military, air, land, and sea? Why were we just worried about those three places, and now he's talking about space cadet, huh? Good. Hey, I hope you do. I hope you do feel good with the end of the world coming. I want you to know that all you have to do is get right with God. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. As long as you don't believe in God, you can remove yourself from this channel, because that's all I'm going to promote. I'm going to promote the fact that you need to be amongst the 1 million people that said, I'm going to watch this. And you know what? I'm going to help you watch it. Check it.
The United States, Russia, and China all tested new super-fast hypersonic munitions in 2018, escalating a global competition for weaponry that can strike farther and harder than ever before, and potentially defeat existing defenses. The Russian and Chinese hypersonics tests were the most dramatic. But the much quieter American trial pointed toward a much more immediate and widespread transformation of military capabilities than the Russians or Chinese are likely to achieve. The world's armies have long eyed faster munitions, especially faster munitions that also are maneuverable. Swifter, nimbler rockets could strike with less warning and evade missile defense systems. Speedier, more streamlined artillery shells could travel farther and impact with greater destructive force. Most experts agree. If a weapon can travel at least 5 times the speed of sound, it's hypersonic. Although some say the munition must be maneuverable, too, to be effective. In late December, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that the Kremlin had tested the new Avangard hypersonic rocket. But as a delivery system for nuclear warheads, Avangard doesn't actually enhance Russia's military arsenal. That's because Russia's ICBMs already possess the range to strike targets all over the world, and the speed to evade all but the luckiest shot by American missile defenses. Indeed, ICBMs in the terminal phase of their flight already are hypersonic. Avangard flies lower in the atmosphere than an ICBM, might be faster than an ICBM is in early phases of flight. The practical differences end there.
So, as they're trying to build underground bunkers to go underground, the sun is heating up, causing the core of the earth to heat up. So the ground itself is getting hot. They're eventually going to have to come out of them underground bunkers. The people that's selling the rich people the underground bunkers are trying to move to space. That's why you have Elon Musk building the SpaceX spaceship. So if you think that this isn't going to happen and you don't have not even $1 for an underground bunker, go ahead. All I've been saying is God's judgment is is escalating, and we must get right with God. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Because once you die, it just doesn't go all black. All right? If you think so, then continue living the way you live. But obviously you don't think that, because you wouldn't still be here. You've been sitting here with me for at least an hour. Even if you've been saying negativity, you see something, okay? You see some form of truth in something, because you would have been like, I'm getting out of here. You would have been watching the guy's bed. You would have been sitting there talking to the bed. You would have been typing there.
It's China, not Russia, that's making what seem the biggest strides toward fielding a non-nuclear hypersonic weapon. But even China's new weapon is less fearsome than it might appear to be. Ironically, its own sophistication holds it back. Around the same time Putin announced the results of the Avangard test, Chinese warship sailing the open ocean while armed with an electromagnetic railgun that could be capable of firing shells at hypersonic velocity. A railgun propels its projectiles by way of magnetic force, as opposed to explosive powder charges that conventional guns use. China's railgun first appeared in January 2018. A large cannon was visible on Haiyangshan's forward deck. In March, Chinese state media confirmed the cannon was an experimental railgun. In December, the gun had undergone at-sea tests, making it the first such weapon to do so. Pentagon officials in early January leaked news of the U.S. Navy's own hypersonics test, this one involving a Navy warship firing hypersonic shells during a summer 2018 war game near Hawaii. The Pentagon's Secretive Strategic Capabilities Office helped to oversee the trial. In the test, the destroyer, USS Dewey, fired 20 of the hypervelocity projectiles from its standard, 5-inch diameter gunpowder cannon, officials told the website of the U.S. Naval Institute. The new projectile is more aerodynamic than old-style shells, and features tiny fins and a radar guidance system that helps it to hone in on a target at speeds as fast as 7 times the speed of sound. That's roughly 3 times the velocity a normal naval shell can achieve. Far-flying and accurate, the shells in theory can target ships, ground targets, aircraft, and even incoming missiles. At first glance,
all this is to show you that the war you think that this is just another war. This ain't just another war, buddy. This ain't just another war. These arsenals are being upgraded. Okay? They're being upgraded. So I don't know why you think that this is just some regular stuff that I'm trying to bring to you. I wouldn't even started streaming if I didn't see the extreme tensions that I'm seeing. All right, I woke up. I was about to go on Google. I forgot what I was going to Google, and as soon as I went to Google, right there in front of me, I was like, "Oh shoot, proxy war." Somebody told me I was just trying to spread fear. Someone said that I was a moron. Somebody said that I didn't know what I was talking about. And now it's right back in front of my face. So now I'm bringing it to yours. If you have your own choice. I'm not controlling your controller or your PlayStation. If you don't like anything that's going on here, or you don't like anything that I'm saying, if you think that I'm trying to make your life that much worse, please remove yourself. But for those that know that I'm just trying to spread the message and the word, thank you for staying. Thank you for subscribing and following. Okay? There's no reason to argue with these people. No reason. There's no reason. Especially when it's black and white in front of you. Okay? So either these people don't have their own camera, either they get paid to harass other people, or they just don't have a life. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Because if they didn't like what I'm saying, they wouldn't have sat here for a whole hour talking about, well, I'm waiting for my other streamer to come on. Because what happens when I remove myself from this stream? Are you going to finally go to the other stream? See? So it doesn't matter how you feel or what you're saying. It matters what's at hand. And these are troubling times.
Might appear to be the least remarkable of the three countries' 2018 hypersonics trials. It didn't involve a new gun or missile, just a new super aerodynamic shell. The shell is non-nuclear. But the U.S. test, arguably, is the most likely to result in the widespread deployment of a truly transformational new weapon. And it underlines the Pentagon's advantage over the Russian and Chinese militaries in the hypersonics race. While Russia,
now,
China,
hold on.
and the United States...
Hey, I'll come watch your stream when you subscribe to my channel. How about that? Because I don't even think that you'll ever subscribe. I don't even really want you to subscribe. But since you're gonna promote yourself here, I'm gonna promote myself to you. And where's your friends at? The people that don't like what I'm saying, the people that don't like hearing me, why aren't they in your room? And why aren't you in your room? What about that?
All are developing a wide array of new hypersonic weapons. It's telling which systems each country has prioritized. Russia has focused on seemingly impressive, but marginally useful hypersonic weapons that make for good PR, but don't actually shift the balance of power. China, for its part, has chosen to tinker with very advanced high technology that might prove impractical. America, meanwhile, has focused on less sophisticated weapons. It's reasonably certain it can deploy quickly and widely, while deferring development of more ambitious munitions designs until the technology is more mature. Usefulness and scalability are the American weapons' major advantages over the Russian and Chinese weapons. Russia and China, with their showy demonstrations and bespoke technology, might appear to have pulled ahead in the early laps of the race for hypersonic weapons. But the United States, with its emphasis on a weapon that it can deploy quickly and actually use in a non-nuclear war, ultimately could gain the military advantage.
Yeah, okay. All right, everybody, you hear that? Somebody got a new stream going. Go check it out, because if you don't want to be here, you don't have to. Nobody's holding you against your will. I'm changing this. I'm going to, you guys see this other one that I got. Hold on. No. There we go. There we go. Impossible, right? Because, you know, this can't be happening. Hold on. Here, this is all you got to do. Do the same thing I'm doing. Maybe it'll make some relevance to your channel. Because you got now you got people falling asleep on their streams. So, there we go. All right. That was a day ago. Let me see. Which one? You know what? We're going to do the day ago one. Let's do this one. I didn't even see this one yet. Let's check this out together. Okay?
You're a neuroscience company, and you're working to build basically an interface to the brain.
Yeah. Electrode to neuron interface at a micro level.
The conference is highlighting the potential dangers posed by asteroids and comets that orbit our sun.
That's a tornado, they say. That was a twister.
Low probability.
Hold on, just in case you know some. Oh, that was CGI.
Asteroids and comets that orbit our sun.
Look at this. Singapore. This month, okay? Just in case this is weird stuff to you, you know, all you got to do, that is impossible. That is impossible channel. Or actually just put in impossible channel. You'll have a whole bunch of stuff to see, okay?
High consequence, but low probability.
And for the people that actually stayed here and watched, I truly, truly thank you. I'm pretty sure you see all the negativity that I get. I thank you for not saying nothing. I thank you for staying out. I thank you for just watching. Okay? And if I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. Because all these negative people, they're not making it far. This guy supposedly had a stream going, and this is the last thing that he put into my stream. So for all the negativity, he thinks he's not going to be judged. Why would he not be judged? And then that's the thing, you know, God does give judgment on individual basis. Yes, he does. But this judgment that's coming upon the land is going to be as an entirety, as a whole, as a people. So as long as you embrace the other negative person, then when judgment rains upon you, it's going to rain harder because you knew what was coming. Everyone knows that they shouldn't be negative. This negativity isn't a natural instinct. Okay? Now, if you're hunting, that may be different because to the zebra, maybe a lion's negative. You see what I mean? It's going to kill him. It's going to eat him. But as human beings with conscious souls and the know-how to do right and wrong, where do you feel it feasible to have to come and police or report another person's stream who didn't invite you and has nothing against you? They don't even know you, but you feel they have to put that energy into the world. So due to that, that's why the occurrences are happening right in front of you, and then eventually it'll be happening to you. Okay, so don't act like you didn't have the time. Don't act like you wasn't warned. Okay, you had the time to change. You refused. You heard the warning and you refused. So let's see what happens from there on. Okay, keep on talking your negativity. Say what you would like and let me know.
We've been asked, like, does it keep you up at night? There's certainly other things that should keep us up at night, but it's
now when all that smoke goes into the stratosphere, what does that do to the planet? Huh? Does it not cool it down? or is that supposed to make it hotter? Huh?
What is it? Like I'm gonna have like a plug in my head that's gonna fit into a hard drive? Like, or how does that work?
Yeah. A chip and a bunch of tiny wires.
This would be implanted surgically.
Now, did I not just? Well, I didn't tell you anything. The Bible said that there shall be a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. Now, the microchip that they have implanted in Switzerland is for buying and selling. They also have it in Wisconsin. I just showed you where he's talking about putting this in your head. Okay? So, just in case the Bible's man-made, one more time.
Like I'm gonna have like a plug in my head that's gonna fit into a hard drive? Like, or how does that work?
Yeah. A chip and a bunch of tiny wires.
This would be implanted surgically.
So, fake news.
She goes, oh young.
Fake news is happening, right? That's fake news. He was on CNN promoting some microchip to be implanted in people, right?
How you is followed. What she buys, how she behaves is tracked and scored.
Yep. There's a social credit. Did you just hear that? There's a social credit in China where everything that you do is being tracked, and the way you treat people is being tracked. So, when it comes here, or when you're actually hit with this, how are you going to respond knowing that you've been acting the way you want it to be and it's been out of the accord with nature? You're supposed to be harmonious with nature. You're not supposed to be constantly trolling, negative, persecuting, evil. You're not supposed to be these ways. But people choose to move the way they want to move. So continue doing so. And now let's look at the atmosphere that you're creating.
Mechanism pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets big brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its one.
And it would do what? Could you input? Could you download Jim?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's a new species that will repopulate the Earth, but only after
He just said, so you could download this guy next to me if you got the microchip in him? And he said, yep.
Expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its one.
And it would do what? Could you input? Could you download Jim?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's a new species that will repopulate the Earth, but only after the Earth is left deserted for a certain period of time. The hybrids will be brought down to the Earth again when the Earth ecosystem regains ability to support advanced life again.
Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? So when you say I'm crazy, when you say you're not making sense, do you see what's going on? That was in an Oxford lecture, okay? An Oxford lecture, okay? Hold on. Now, if they just let any old body in to do these lectures, then I should see a few of you saying God isn't real. I seen this guy doing a crazy stream the other day. I want you people to know that God's not real. You should be able to go lecture in any college you want. This guy lectured at one of the highest colleges in America, right? What's going on? Why is he saying this, and how is he able to talk like this without somebody in his comment section saying, I don't believe this is garbage, this is BS? Huh?
The Earth is left deserted for a certain period of time. The hybrids will be brought down to the Earth again when the Earth ecosystem regains ability to support advanced life again.
This guy said aliens are already here.
San Francisco, home to many of the world's tech pioneers, is blazing a new path. It's restricting the use of facial recognition technology by the local government.
It's psychologically unhealthy when people know they're being watched in every aspect of the public realm.
Now, I stream. So my PlayStation has a camera. My phone has a camera. There's cameras in the stoplights. There's cameras in the stores. There's constant surveillance. What did he just say? So who created this atmosphere? Let me guess. My people, by selling me into slavery, right? This is the stuff that I just heard. This is what I just heard.
It's psychologically unhealthy when people know they're being watched in every aspect of the public realm.
Now, if he feels like that, and he's of your heritage, where would I be feeling? Okay, knowing that this place is all wrong, huh? See, nature is now fighting technology. All that stuff is happening because nature has to defend itself. Everything defends itself within nature, so nature now has to defend itself. If anyone knows what 5G is, then you know why nature has to defend itself. Plain and simple.
This is Newport, South Wales. It's ridiculous.
The whole idea of online tracking, basically companies following their motions online, but using facial recognition technology, that could be brought out into the real world. Companies can quite easily set up cameras in their stores and then can use those cameras and this technology to create a profile of our movements, what we're looking at, who we're interacting with.
A recent French study indicates...
Someone said that God is an extraterrestrial. Well, with all these alien talks and now spaceships popping up and all this stuff, I would still be worried because there's still a whole bunch of people that say God don't exist. And if you think that God's an extraterrestrial and you're not telling people that God does exist, then when he comes, he's going to say, well, why didn't you tell the people that I was an alien? Why didn't you tell them? Why didn't you tell them to listen to the rules to actually go by? The basic instructions before leaving Earth. Why didn't you tell them if you knew that God existed? Huh? And God, I don't believe God is an extraterrestrial, because if he's judging the spirit, that means that he has to be in spirit form. That's why we call him the Father, because we already know the mother is the creation. We're in the physical, but we're gonna go back to the Father once we leave the physical. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You're gonna meet your maker. You're gonna meet your creator. That's what everybody's been saying this whole time. So now, what? You think that when you go, it's just gonna be pitch black? It's just darkness? Yeah, maybe for those that don't believe.
Ancient Romans may have figured out how to deal with earthquakes by simply deflecting the energy of the waves using structures that resemble metamaterials. These are materials which can manipulate waves, electromagnetic or otherwise, in ways which are normally deemed impossible, such as guiding light around an object using a special pattern. Solar storm is here. A powerful stream of energy from the sun hit the Earth today. A geomagnetic storm caused by a stream of solar energy spewed by the sun is washing over the Earth's atmosphere, U.S. space weather forecasters have warned.
This generation's job, my generation's job, is to build the
like I said, if most of them were trolls,
so that you'll be able.
Thank God. Let them go. You don't need to hear it. I'm glad with just being in here with the few people that need to be in here to hear this. That's it. I don't need a big audience. I really don't. I don't want a big audience, because with a big audience comes mass confusion and people spamming away in the comments. So keep it short. I want the people that actually are supposed to hear this. This is the reasons why we need to actually look at these as the last days. This is where we're saying God's coming in a matter of time. That's it.
Two. We're going to build a road to space. And then amazing things will happen.
What I just tell you, the people that's selling these underground bunkers are trying to get to space. They just want to get out of here. You understand? So once they have enough money, they're like, yo, leave the planet, because the planet is going to be judged. The planet is done. The planet is tired of people building roadways and adding more weight. And they're removing weight from one place by getting sand. So they're distributing the weight, and it's uneven now. So now that's why we have these imbalances, or these earthquakes, or these mudslides. You understand? And then the heat from cars, vehicles, fossil fuels, factories, warehouses, all that goes into the air, moves up towards the ice, the cold airs, the areas, and then they start melting that. And then next thing you know, now we got water being distributed all over the place. Now you're getting the mudslides and the floods and all that. Common sense. Common sense. So the whole planet is being under watch. Get right with God.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be danged if you go sit there and try to blame Eve for all this. Are you serious? Eve had nothing to do with a smart car. Eve had nothing to do with a G5 jet flying in the air. Eve had nothing to do with that. She bit the apple. Yeah, we became cursed, but we're making our own bed as we sleep in it. All right? This is the world that we're in. Eve's not here. No, Steve Jobs isn't Eve. All right? Steve Jobs helped us understand technology more, and we started embracing his side and his ideology. So once he's gone, you know, he died. Eventually, everyone's going to die. Where's his spirit? Because he was more into the physical. So where's his spirit now? What was driving his body to move around? Okay? Because he had to go to sleep and he had to wake up every day. What stopped that? What stopped that program?
Gone. Yeah.
Proposals are approved by the National Assembly. They will be published in the Kenya Gazette. And
look at that.
The proposals.
Look at that. Now, what is that? What is that? Is that the sun, or is that a moon, or is that a ship? Huh? Or are you gonna say that's special effects? That's CGI. Somebody actually took the time out of their day to actually do a Photoshop of some circular thing blotting out the sun. So, and it looks like it's in our sky. So, tell me what that is.
Human cloning through fertilization.
Hey. If the apology is authentic and genuine, I accept it. But you know what? If it ain't, I'm not going to stop. This is what I see. And if you cannot tell me why I am seeing what I am seeing, then whatever you say is non-relevant.
Test you.
That's what I've been asking. What's happening to the earth then? Look at this. Stampede.
I'm like screaming or something in this tunnel. I'm gonna go check it out.
Those were locusts swarming. This guy, he could be one of your cousins. I don't know who this guy is, but he decided to go into a sewer. And he's walking around in the sewer, and he hears this weird growling sound. And he said, what the hell? And then he continues to go down this. No, see, that's why black people can't swim. All right? If you want to know the secret, because we're not going to go down there knowing that there's a blue whale 8,000 times our size. That's insane. Why would you want to do that? That's why you get ripped apart by great white sharks. That's why eels and all kinds of stuff will electrocute you or pull you down to a greater depth. That's why this stuff happens, because you go into the unknown. You want to journey and you want to explore more. You want to try to conquer more land. And there's going to be stuff behind the darkness that says, get out. You are not welcome. We see what you do in the light, and we do not allow you in the dark. Hold on. I want this from the beginning again. Because there was no reason that guy was in the goddamn sewer. What is he doing in the sewer? He's just exploring. He was doing work, right?
Like screaming or something in this tunnel. I'm gonna go check it out.
See? Something screaming in this tunnel. I want to go check it out.
What the hell? Hello?
Now, hold on. Okay, see? It came for him. Either way, why? Why, if he heard something in there, why by yourself? And then, even if some people want to say, oh, he was just doing this for a viral stunt, then we would see this all over the place. But we don't. I see it here. So, tell me where and why this is happening. That's it. That's all you got to do. All you have to do is tell me why this is happening.
We're pushing around too many people. Why would the President of the United States pay attention to that model? They are strong. Strong in what sense? They are controlling many things. Controlling what? Newspapers? Medias? Your Majesty. Banks? Finances? And I'm going to stop there. Not the entire media. Some newspapers will only reflect their news. Yes.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets.
Oh, see? You see? So don't come at me with this fake news stuff. Don't tell me that, oh, you don't know what fake news is, or that's fake news, or whatever you're trying to tell me. Check this out. It's right here. It's right here. I've come across fake news. I know what fake news is. I have no problem with fake news. I'm letting you know that we're in the time that we're in where we need to start getting our relationship with God correct. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you. I'm telling you war is looming. And if you want to say that's fake news, that's the fake news that's being promoted. So that means that death could be imminent. So why not get right with God? Plain and simple.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The conclusion. You can put this to the computer and it will answer you.
Cloud, and they put out these frequencies in a much higher power than 5G will be initially with us, but the same frequencies. And people scatter because they get the feeling their skin is on fire.
Look at all that. Look at all that metal in on that tree, or the fake tree. Okay. Just in case you say, well, if aliens exist, then there's no God. Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. Okay? Just go check that out.
Basically, an effort for man to merge with machine in a healthy way.
Yes.
To beat machines, you basically have to merge with machines.
Most likely, yes.
Damn, so I have this fucking crazy guy that just popped up in front of my car out of nowhere, and he's freaking me the fuck out.
Where I really don't think there's kind of a conscience of that. I mean, we're seeing that already here in Germany as well. I mean, at one of the train stations just around the corner from where I live, there are already cameras set up where the German government is attempting to see exactly how this technology...
Hold on. That was fake news. How many of y'all are from Germany in here? Okay? Is that real or not? Are they not putting facial recognition in the subways? Let me know about that.
Bro, this guy is so fucking...
Look, if anybody heard this guy, if anybody heard him, he just said, this guy came up and popped up in front of my car for no reason. Go on.
Fucking crazy guy that just popped up in front of my car out of nowhere.
Wait, what is he dressed in? Is he dressed in all white like the Muslims that was bowing at the Kaaba stone? Or is he dressed in all black like I just said that everyone usually comes in this dress? Huh? Because every time I see a person like me dressed in all black, I gotta watch that guy. I think he got something on him. I think he's here to do something, right? So how come I'm not looking at the other guy like that?
Where I really don't think there's kind of a conscience of that. I mean, we're seeing that already here in Germany as well. I mean, at one of the train stations just around the corner from where I live, there are already cameras set up where the German government is attempting to see exactly how this technology...
Cops like 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Bro, this guy is so fucking weird. Yes? No? Maybe? Wow, look at his eyes. You see that shit?
The story that you might have heard today claims that a 4G mobile network is coming to the moon. And this is true. Mobile giants Vodafone and Nokia...
Yeah, what's up with the sky? Why are the clouds looking speckled? We're not supposed to be seeing speckled skies. That is insane. How do we... If you think that this is normal, people, you need to reevaluate your life. The sky is not supposed to look like this. This is not normal clouds, all right?
Mobile giants Vodafone and Nokia have announced plans to set up a 4G network on the moon next year.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Now, since the 50s, they haven't went back to the moon, supposedly, right? But now they have an idea to set 4G network on the moon. Why? And do you actually think if there are UFOs or aliens that they're going to allow human life to remove itself from the planet after the devastation, the greed, the horrendous acts of humanity? You got another thing coming. You got a pipe dream. You got a pipe dream. Oh, you know what did that? Wind. You know why? What happens in an insurance company, huh? When you take a claim like that to an insurance company, you say, wind blew the roof off of my house, or a tree limb crashed and cracked my car in half. What do they say? Huh? Anybody that actually has any intellect, they sit there and they say that was an act of God. Huh? Or sometimes they'll say it's an act of nature. Okay? So even in claims, they understand that there's a higher hand. It doesn't matter if you do or you don't. Just like I said, you don't believe in a higher hand, please remove yourself. Remove yourself, plain and simple. But if you think this is normal,
then happy birthday. But it's hard to believe looking at you. I don't know, maybe I'm getting older or you're just very, very youthful. But I would never guess you were 50 years old if we just met.
I am 50.
Wow.
Yeah, 50.
That's scary. Because why did they pick Keanu Reeves to do time travel in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bogus Adventure? He did 2 Bill and Ted movies. Then he came out as Neo, the one. He's the one. For no reason. I don't know what made this guy the one, but he's the one. Then after that, he turned into John Wick, where he's just blasting everything. So now he's on whatever late night show. I forgot. I don't remember who it was. David Letterman, whoever. And they're saying, "Yo, why don't you age? Why don't you age? What's wrong with you?"
Oh my God, y'all! I work at a mental health facility. My friend called me and told.
Hold on. I want to go back to that. That's what I want. Look at that. That was another act of God. Did you see that? That man just walked by and missed a building collapsing on his head. Now, with that, I would like to know from the atheists if everything happens under coincidence, what was the coincidence in that? And why was that man spared? Why, if that thing was going to fall, why didn't it just fall on him? Because that's the way of nature. That's the rule of law, right? Everything that happens is supposed to happen. Nothing happens for no reason. Everything's just coincidental. There's no order in the earth. Nothing's keeping order. So, what saved that man from having all them bricks pummeled in his head? Huh? Anybody got an answer? Anybody? Still none, huh? Still nothing?
You turned 50 last month, and happy birthday, but it's hard to believe looking at you. I don't know, maybe I'm getting older or you're just very, very youthful, but I would never guess you were 50 years old if we just met.
I am 50.
Wow.
Yeah, 50.
Oh my God, y'all! I work at a mental health facility. My friend called me and told me that the guy called.
Yeah, the guy called and said that he was the guy that killed. Hey, you know what? None of this stuff really matters. Hey, I'm just here to let you know.
Recognition technology.
This is my proof to let you know that you need to make a closer connection with God. Plain and simple. That's all I'm here to tell you. If you don't want to do so, that's up to you. But you see what you see on the screen, and you're seeing it for a reason. So all those that actually subscribe to me and are actually genuinely here to learn and understand stuff, thank you for following me. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being here with my whole stream. But for all you others that want to be here under negativity and boredom, and you want to try to use this for entertainment, just know that when devastation comes, you will be mocked. And whoever you call upon, since you haven't called upon them this whole time, you will be paid and enacted. So, thank you for my followers, my subs, the people that actually stayed here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the pit of my soul. And I hope that you create your connection with God. Till next time, love you. God bless.